Fleet's deployment strategy when an impossible signal reached their communications array. The image of a human female appeared in the center of the chamber, her uniform bearing symbols none of the aliens recognized. "This is Captain Elena Vasquez of the United Earth ship Prometheus," the human announced. "You are blockading my homeworld with hostile intent. You have 30 seconds to withdraw your forces." The chamber erupted in laughter. Korthax could barely speak through his amusement. "Captain, your vessel appears to be suffering from delusions brought on by extended hibernation. Our combined fleet consists of over 2,000 state-of-the-art warships. Your single, antiquated vessel poses no threat to." The transmission cut off. What happened next would be studied in military academies across the galaxy for centuries to come. The Prometheus didn't move with the graceful acceleration of modern vessels. Instead, it simply pointed itself at the Council fleet and began to accelerate with the inexorable momentum of a falling mountain. The aliens' first mistake was assuming that their energy shields would stop the ancient ship's weapons. The tungsten slugs fired by the Prometheus's mass drivers passed through energy barriers as if they didn't exist, their relativistic velocity making them effectively invisible until the moment of impact. Their second mistake was believing that their superior numbers would overwhelm a single opponent. The Prometheus had been designed to fight entire fleets alone, and its tactical systems, crude by modern standards, but devastatingly effective, began methodically eliminating enemy vessels with surgical precision. Their third and final mistake was thinking they could damage a ship that had been built to survive the end of the universe. The battle lasted 14 minutes. When it was over, the space around Earth was filled with drifting debris from nearly 800 alien warships. The surviving vessels of the Galactic Council fleet fled in disorder, broadcasting emergency retreats across all frequencies. In the war chamber, those few dignitaries who had survived the flagship's destruction stared in shock at the tactical displays. The primitive human relic hung motionless in space, unmarked by the battle that had just ended. Ambassador Velda's crystalline form flickered with patterns of confusion and fear. "How?" she whispered. "How is this possible?" The answer came from an unexpected source. Dr. Marcus Chen, humanity's chief xenotechnologist, appeared on their communication screens. Unlike the military captain, he seemed almost sympathetic to their bewilderment. "You made a fundamental error in your assessment," he explained calmly. "You assumed that newer meant better, that complexity meant superiority. The Prometheus was built during humanity's darkest period of paranoia and fear. We designed it not to be elegant or efficient, but to be absolutely, unquestionably indestructible." He paused, looking directly at the surviving council members. "You see a relic. We see proof that sometimes the old ways are the best ways. Sometimes simple brutality beats sophisticated elegance. And sometimes the most dangerous weapon in the galaxy is the one that refuses to break." The communication ended, leaving the alien survivors to contemplate a disturbing new reality. For all their technological advancement, for all their sophisticated weapons and energy shields, they had been defeated by what amounted to a flying brick armed with glorified railguns. As news of the battle spread across the galaxy, a new understanding began to emerge among alien civilizations. Humanity wasn't just another spacefaring species to be conquered or negotiated with. They were something far more dangerous, a species that built their weapons not for show, but for the sole purpose of winning wars. The Prometheus returned to its silent drift through space, its crew once again entering hibernation. But now, every alien fleet that passed through human space gave the ancient warship a wide berth, and mothers of a dozen species told their offspring cautionary tales about the sleeping giant that could awaken at any moment. The humans had taught the galaxy a valuable lesson: mock the relic at your own peril, for it might just be the most dangerous weapon ever built. The Galactic Council's war chamber fell silent as Admiral Corthax of the Vanguard Fleet gestured toward the massive holographic display. Suspended in the center of the projection was what appeared to be nothing more than a derelict hulk, a primitive vessel of dark metal and crude angles, drifting silently through the void near the contested Proxima system. This Corthax announced to the assembled alien dignitaries, his mandibles clicking with amusement, is what the humans call their ace in the hole. The UES Prometheus, a 1,000-year-old relic, they've somehow convinced themselves can turn the tide of this war. Ripples of laughter echoed through the chamber. Ambassador Velva of the Crystalline Dominion examined the projection with her multifaceted eyes, her crystalline form refracting the hologram's light into prismatic patterns. "It appears to be constructed from primitive steel alloys," she observed with barely concealed disdain. "No energy shields, no quantum weaponry, no neural networks. How do the humans expect this museum piece to function in modern combat?" High Counselor Zexran leaned forward in his floating chair, his tentacles writhing with excitement. "Intelligence reports suggest it's been drifting dormant for nearly 8 centuries. The humans claim it was their first deep space warship, launched during their species' early expansion period. Surely they don't believe such primitive technology poses any threat to our combined fleets." Corthax manipulated the hologram, zooming in on the vessel's details. The ship was massive, nearly 3 kilometers long, but its design seemed almost barbarically simple compared to the sleek, energy-based constructions favored by advanced civilizations. Its hull was scarred and weathered, marked by countless micrometeorite impacts and the ravages of time. "Our xenoarchaeologists have studied similar human relics," Corthax continued. "This vessel predates their development of faster-than-light communication, artificial intelligence, or even basic energy shielding. It's essentially a flying metal coffin powered by fusion reactors and armed with primitive kinetic weapons. The fact that humans still revere it demonstrates their species' unfortunate tendency toward nostalgic delusion." What the assembled alien leaders didn't know was that deep within the Prometheus, something was stirring. Captain Elena Vasquez stood in the ship's ancient command center, her weathered hands moving across control surfaces that hadn't been activated in 800 years. Around her, the bridge hummed with increasing energy as systems that had slumbered for centuries began their awakening sequence. The air itself seemed to thicken with potential. "Captain," called Lieutenant Commander Singh from the engineering station, "all primary systems are showing green." The old girl's responding better than we hoped. Elena nodded, her eyes fixed on the main display screen. Through it, she could see the Galactic Council's combined fleet, over 2,000 vessels of various alien designs, their hulls gleaming with energy shields and exotic weaponry. They had positioned themselves in a perfect blockade formation around Earth, confident in their technological superiority. "They see an old ship," Elena murmured to herself, "but they don't understand what they're really looking at." The truth about the Prometheus was known to only a handful of humans. It wasn't just humanity's first deep space warship. It was their first attempt at creating something that could survive anything the universe might throw at it. Built during humanity's paranoid early expansion period, when every shadow might hide an alien threat, the ship had been designed with one overriding principle: absolute, uncompromising durability. Its hull wasn't just steel, it was a composite of materials so dense and resilient that it could withstand the gravitational forces near a black hole. Its fusion reactors weren't primitive, they were elegantly simple, designed to function reliably for millennia without maintenance. Its weapons weren't kinetic projectiles, they were relativistic mass drivers capable of accelerating tungsten slugs to a significant percentage of light speed. But most importantly, the Prometheus had been built with something the advanced alien civilizations had long forgotten in their pursuit of technological elegance: the human capacity for stubborn, unreasonable persistence. "Captain," Singh reported, All weapon systems are online. Targeting computers have lock on the Council flagship. Elena smiled grimly. Open a channel to the Galactic Council. In the war chamber, Korthax was in the middle of explaining his